welcome to Mari Clark Creations here on YouTube. I am going to be scrapbooking a 12 by 12 layout with you today. This video is a premiere, so make sure that you check out the live chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button. And also, if you set the subscribe button to click when you click on the bell to be notified of all new uploads, you can be notified of when these premieres are happening, and that's kind of fun too. What else did I want to say about that? I'm just thinking here. I think that's about it. I am going to link up to all of the different products that I'm using today in the description box below, so that if you do want to pick up any of those different products, you can check out those links. And so today I'm going to be working with this piece of beautiful paper called Rainbow Swirl from Vicki Boutin and the Sweet Rush collection. I don't have much of this collection yet. I've got a few of the papers, but my local scrapbooking store has not received any of the extra, stickers and all that kind of stuff, the ephemera and so on. So I just kind of picked up whatever they had in stock for Sweet Rush. So it's a really fun collection. I really like it. What I did notice immediately is that it goes along really nicely from the collection from last spring, Color Study. So I did pull out some of my different ephemera and so on from Color Study, and you can just see here that that's going to match up really nicely with Vicki's collection. So what I'm going to do here with this gorgeous paper, my idea is to cut these different rainbow stripes into strips, and that's what I'm going to start with. I'm just going to try to keep this in frame as well as I can. And this is not a voiceover, so this video will be virtually unedited. So it's kind of like watching me scrapbook live basically, and we have the live chat. So make sure when I'm working away here that if you have any questions, make sure that you go ahead and ask. The scissors that I'm using right now are Heidi Swap scissors, and let me tell you, they are gym dandies. They work really well. I really love them. I got those from Heidi Swap shop. And I'm just going to trim this off here so that it's straight, and that'll make sense here in a minute when you see what my plan is for this paper. I'm going to actually just trim this edge of the curve as well. Like so. Wow, I don't know what your weather's like where you are, but where I am, we're getting an Alberta clipper here today. And well, it started yesterday late in the day, and I don't know how much snow is out there, but it's a lot. We have a lot of snow. It's just really kind of sad actually. But oh well, what can you do, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and trim this curve here, curve this, cut this on the curve as well. So I'm just trimming this up a little bit on the curve, and at this point I'm not exactly sure how far. I actually might even stop at this point until I have a firm plan of how far I want these trimmed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plastic straw and I am going to curl these papers. And what's really fun is this paper is black on the back, so we're going to get some really nice high contrast here with this paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this with this straw, and this is a really nice sturdy plastic straw, and it's because this paper is curved, it's going to be a little bit tricky. You know, you're going to have to work with that curved paper. And when I get it to where I think I want it, and for this one, and I may have to recurl it here, but I want to reveal enough. I want to make sure that I curl it enough so that I leave space for my photograph, because I want the photo to kind of be in the white space where it's been curled away. So I'm going to actually have to trim this one a little bit more. This will all make sense when you see what my plan is for the design of the page. but I am doing a baby photo of my little grandson, and it's kind of fun to do. Well, it's fun to do rainbow with any type of a project, but he's definitely our little rainbow baby. So we I've been scrapbooking with lots of rainbow themed product for him, which is pretty fun. I want these to be at different levels. I'm going to do this one up a little bit more, but this one I want to be not as far, and then this one I want to be at a different length again. I love the color of this paper. It's so pretty. I'm just going to see how much of the white underneath this is going to reveal. Might go up a little bit. Let's see here. That one is there. This one is. I might go up a little bit higher with this pink one. So I'm just kind of trying to step it up. To step each layer up at a little different level. Okay, just till we get to the point where we have a little bit of an area down at the bottom there, and I want to do a little bit of mixed media down there as well. So I'm not really sure what that's going to entail yet either. But what I like to do, you know, when I come down to my craft space and make, is I like to just go with whatever, you know. I like to just kind of come down and play and see what I end up with. And sometimes it's based on some inspiration, a color scheme, or something that I've seen in fashion or home decor, or a popular trend, whatever it might be. So yeah, I'm never really sure on most occasions what I'm gonna do when I get down here. So you can just see how I'm just kind of bending this so that this is going to be wider at this end and narrower at this end, because it's on a curve. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this hand here, and I'm going to rip off a piece of my double-sided tape if I can find the end of it. There it is. And I'm just going to take that, tear a piece of it off. The nice thing about the Scrapbooking tape is it's really easy to tear, which I appreciate. I'm going to roll this back a little bit so that there's a spot for my tape to go, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm just going to re-measure it there. Put the excess over there. Just going to really burnish that well and reach for my pick. That's a little bit fiddly, but you know what? I hope it's going to be worth it when I'm finished. Okay, so I'm really going to press there. I could also adhere that with a little bit of liquid adhesive, but for the most part, I think we're okay, because that Scrapbooking tape is pretty strong. So you can just see how that is going to stay formed into that little roll. And I'm just going to push on it a little bit. I don't know if I'll end up rolling this one. We'll see how it goes. I might, but if I do roll it, I'll have to kind of like push it by that one to get it rolled up, or I might just leave it flat there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this one here, we're going to do the same thing. Just gonna get this going. Get it started, just push it to get it started. Again, I'm gonna have to just kind of turn it as I roll it. Try it right about there. Press it down. And we'll pick that up. Take the backing off and then just continue to roll it on up there, right about there. Give it a really good press. Really pressing down on that adhesive before I take the straw out. Okay, so you can just see how we're getting that combination of the black with the rainbow colors. I think it looks really cool, and we're gonna just keep going and do a little bit more rolling. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna take another little piece of tape off here and just put it on the edge of my tape roll so that I've got some tape ready to go. I should have done that the first time too, but I wasn't thinking. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll it, turn as I roll it about that far. Put my tape down there. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with the other papers. Okay, so I have those rolled. Now what I'm thinking of doing, and I hope I don't regret this, but I think I'm going to trim this part off, which I love this paper, and I'm thinking I'm going to try to use it in some way. And by this paper, I mean what I'm trimming off here, because it's just got that distressed look to it, right? So I do really like that. And I'm hoping to use it somehow. But for right now, what I'm going to do is trim that part out, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the blue and the orange yet. So it's all kind of an experiment. Now I'll just take that barcode off. And if you try this, I would recommend taking the barcode off first, but it's fine. Okay, I'm going to set that aside because I'm hoping that I'm going to use that still. So now what this can be is just like a free sort of like swoosh of color on here. These pieces could be left, but I'm just kind of trying to decide if I want to roll them. I think I do want to roll them. I think they look kind of weird if they're just left like that. So I think I am going to roll them too. It's either roll both or leave both plain, I think. I think it would be okay leaving them plain like that, but I kind of like the idea of rolling them too. Okay, so we're going to try rolling them, see what we get. At this point, I think I'll roll it to about there, and we'll see if I can actually do this without being able to push down real well because of where the other one is there. It might be really hard to roll this with this one already rolled. I might have to just leave it just kind of curled like that. Those end pieces might have to just be curled, because I don't know that I can roll this end one with this one already rolled. Maybe if I go underneath here, and I might have to just take, if I do it, I might have to trim this off so that it's straight. I'm just kind of trying to decide if I want to do that or not. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim this off so that it's a little bit more straight, like that. And let's see what we get here. Tape off. that's gonna stay there. Feels like it's gonna stay. So that works. I think that's gonna look cute. Yeah, I like that. Super cute. Something different that you can do with the paper. Anyways, this might not be something that you want to try. I just thought, let's try something different. See what it looks like with this technique. Just giving you different ideas for using your paper in a different way. And this definitely might not be for everybody, so I'm just going to trim this off on less of an angle, like that. Yeah, so you might look at this and say, oh, why would you ever want to do that? Or it might inspire you to try it. Whichever way is good. Okay, so that I think is kind of interesting. I think it's kind of fun. And my idea is to do some mixed media colors here and sort of like continuing the rainbow, and then putting my little photo down here with a little bit, maybe some ephemera and some journaling done. Okay, so what I was thinking about is using Distress ink cubes for this. Pardon me. And so what I think I want to do is just tack this down with some repositionable adhesive up at the top. And by the way, I did put that into my trimmer and I just made sure that that was nice and straight. That line where I trimmed it off. I'm going to kind of put it over, quite a ways over to the edge, and just making sure that it's up right at the top there. And now what I did was I just pulled out my Distress ink cubes, and I thought that it might be fun to use Distress inks. I'm going to go with Spice Marmalade here, my little ink cube. And what I'm thinking I would like to do is just kind of put some ink right on the paper, directly on the paper like this, so that it just kind of looks brushed on there with a paintbrush. So I don't know, I'm trying things. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but we're just trying. I think maybe Crackling Campfire for this one. And we're just gonna, again, just like brush it on there, swipe it on there, and go down a little bit farther like that so that it actually shows up. Okay, so I started with Spice Marmalade. I'm going to keep these in order over here just in case. This one, we could go with, kind of looks like Picked Raspberry, doesn't it, more than Kitsch Flamingo. But then the question is, what do you use for this darker one? Maybe Seedless Preserves for that one. Okay, so we'll go with Picked Raspberry for this darker pink. Like that. Kind of fun, right? It's really easy to do. Super easy. Make that one a little bit wider. And then I think I said Seedless Preserves for that one. I'll try that. How much ink am I getting on my fingers? Not quite. It's not quite the perfect match, but it's pretty close. We could have gone with Kitsch Flamingo for the pink here, and then we could have used Picked Raspberry. I don't have worn lipstick in a cube. That might have been okay there too, but I don't think this is bad. I don't think it looks bad. It's certainly very pretty. I just like that wispy line. I'm gonna have to go back here and add a little bit more of the Spice Marmalade, I think. And I don't mind the idea of kind of like blending it into the next color, just to make it kind of look continuous. Go back and add a little bit more of the Crackling Campfire closer. And it kind of looks like they're blending together a little bit, which is kind of fun. This one, I'm gonna say, well, I have Peacock Feathers. I don't have Salvaged Patina. Do I? No, I don't think I have Salvaged Patina in a cube. Not sure why I don't, because it's one of the newer ones. Okay, love that. So peacock feathers is pretty much an exact match there. The green, I want to say twisted citron. It looks like twisted citron to me for what I have for colors. I'll just put this under here like that, blend it into the last color a little bit, but make sure we get it coming out a little bit. Just going to grab a baby wipe. Get the ink off of my fingers. We somehow managed to forget to turn my phone off. We're gonna go with squeezed lemonade for that one. I'm just gonna push this over a little bit here. The desk is getting messy, as per usual. Okay, like that a lot. And that kind of looks like, is it prize ribbon, do we think? Blueprint sketch, Salty Ocean. I think the best one I have here for that, because I don't have all of the blues, we're gonna go with Blueprint sketch, which is pretty dark, but we're just gonna try it and see. I think Salty Ocean probably would have been better, but it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, I like it. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty fun. I'm just gonna swoosh that out there a little bit more. Super fun. I like it a lot, actually. So just like I said, a little bit of a different way to use your paper and your products for sure. Okay, so now what I'm thinking I would like to do is just ever so painstakingly and carefully, maybe, let's just try this, see if I like it. Just dab a little bit of water on there and see if we can get just a little bit of water reaction. I don't know if it really adds anything. I'm not sure, but we're gonna try it. Just let it sit there for a second and marinate, and then we'll pick it up. Yeah, I don't know, I don't mind it. I don't necessarily think that it's that would be a required step necessarily, but you can definitely do a little bit of it anyways. Just gives it a little bit more of a distressed look. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and splatter a little bit of water along there. Might transfer a little bit of color too, but try to use a different part of the paper towel. There, so we got a little bit of a reaction going on there. Nothing too wild and crazy. The other thing that we could do here is just a tiny little bit of splatter. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, so to do a little bit of splattering, all I'm gonna do is pick up a little bit of the color with a small brush and just go to that area where that paint is and just splatter down a little bit from it, or that, not paint, but ink. And that just adds just a little bit of something more. Never too sure about doing splatters with red, but we'll do a little red. Crackling Campfire is such a pretty color, sort of a reddy orange. Never met a distress color I didn't like, to be honest. Love them all. Here, gonna add some pink. And I'll just continue that all the way up. Okay, so I also added a little bit of stitching along the rainbow lines here, and I wanted to just take my distressing tool and distress the edge of the rainbow a little bit as well. Trying not to tear the paper. And I'm gonna pop this all up on some foam adhesive on the foundations paper. I don't know if I mentioned this is Vicki Boutin foundations paper that I'm working on here. Okay, so I am going to, you can see all my messy sewing on the back. Pop this up. You could use just some cheapy craft foam for this too if you have, if you don't want to use your foam dots. I probably should have done that, but just gonna continue here. And probably one in the middle here as well. Okay, I'm gonna take these backings off and we'll stick this down. Okay, so this is all popped up on here now, so we have some dimension. But when I'm looking at this and thinking about putting my photo down here and my photo mat and some journaling and the title and whatnot, I'm thinking, even though this rainbow is stunning and beautiful, I feel like it looks like it needs something else on it. So what I was thinking I would do there is take this paper, which is beyond beautiful. I love it. And what we can do is take our punches and we can punch these circles out. So this is a 1.5 inch. I've also got a 1 inch and a 1 1/4. And what we can do is punch these and just kind of layer them on the rainbow to add some details, and it just adds some really pretty gold sparkle there as well. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm even going to cut these ones that are off the edge of the paper, because those can be used as, we can tuck them. And just keep going through, and I'm just going to keep going and keep trimming out all of these different circles. Okay, so I have a bunch of the circles cut and ready to embellish, but I also decided that I want to use a little bit of texture paste on my background. So I'm going to grab a little bit of Distress texture paste. This is matte texture paste from Ranger. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab a palette knife here. And what I actually want to do is I'm going to lift this off the foam as best I can here so that I can get my stencil in under here. I want to slide my stencil in because I want to get text all up in this area here, and I want it to be straight. I want it to be linear. So that looks like it's going to work. Okay, I am going to grab a little bit of tape and just tape this stencil just randomly there. And I'm just making sure it looks pretty straight. Yeah, this is a Stamperia stencil from it's called Alchemy Texture. So I don't know if you can see the word alchemy on there at the top now, but when I was looking at this, I just thought, ooh, I don't know. This white area up here, it needed something, I felt. So hopefully this does the trick. Smooth that out. I don't want to get too much texture paste on my paper. I'd prefer not to anyways. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to slip that out. I want to make sure that I lift it up rather than sliding it off as best I can. so I don't smudge the text. But I already like that more just because it just gives it more detail up in that area. And then we'll do the same thing over here in this corner. And try to, might have to lift my, I just don't want to rip my paper, obviously. Okay, so don't think that's going to come up super well there. And I don't want to have to turn my stencil upside down because the text has a direction to it. So we're going to just do this to start. Hopefully I still have you guys in frame there. Just going to slide that up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just add this in. I don't really want to go over my ink too much here. Just kind of try to keep it off of the distress ink. And I really like that. I really like what that adds. It's just that little bit of extra something in those corners where it was just really plain before. And when I was trying out the circles on there, I just thought, ooh, you know, like it kind of needs something else. What I will do with this texture paste pot is I'll put a little bit of wax paper over the lid, whoops, over the top there before I put it away like on the shelf so that it doesn't go dry on me. Okay, so this is all nice and dry now. I added a little bit more over in this corner so that we've kind of got 3 areas with that text. This texture paste dries just beautifully. It's matte, but it's opaque. I really love it. And you can just see how I put a little bit of wax paper underneath the lid. It's really nice and tight, so that'll last for a long time. Now you can see how I've got some of those pie chart circles at the top and some kind of down here at the bottom, sort of running behind my photo. And then my idea is to put some of the black puffy stickers kind of in between here to bring the black in here. And then we can finish off with a little bit of journaling and some ephemera, a little photo mat here, and then I'll probably finish with some splatter. So I think what I want to do right now is get my circle stuck down. So I have some 3D foam adhesive. This is Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. I love these packs because they have the small squares and the bigger squares. You get 217 squares in total. I find that this pack lasts me quite nicely, and I've got them positioned here pretty much where I want to put them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually also going to use a little bit of glue dots. The nice thing about the glue dots is they're transparent, and so we're just going to kind of layer these up as well as we can so as not to see the adhesive. And I might have to put more than one glue dot in one spot just to give it a little bit of dimension, like so. But this is now going to stick here, and then we're just going to continue. I think the top layer has to have the glue dots. So I'm just going to put that underneath and just kind of get these stuck so that they're kind of in the position where I want them. And then we'll get the end pieces stuck down as well. So this guy, get some glue dots on there as well. I still use glue dots quite a bit. I don't know if you guys still use your glue dots, if you ever used glue dots. There's definitely certain times where it's a really good adhesive to have in your adhesive arsenal. Okay, so I'm just going to finish sticking these down, and I'll be back. Okay, so you can just see how I've added some dimensional adhesive underneath here. So in the very under layers, I added some of the foam adhesive, so this is popped up nicely. And here in a few spots I've got the foam adhesive so that it doesn't show. And now what I want to do is add some layers to my photo mat, my photo. So I'm going to pop some foam adhesive on the back of the photo here. And just grab a little bit more here. Oops. It's popped right off of there. Okay, so we'll take the backing off. Love the little pull tabs on these. Fantastic stuff. This is a cut apart 4x3 card and a little piece of the vellum paper, which I have stuck on there. And I have just distressed the bottom of the 4x3 card a little bit. You can see that I just tore it. We've got a little bit of that vellum paper there that we can just fold up a little bit and make it a little bit textural also. And actually, I put this on there upside down, but it doesn't really matter which way it goes, just as long as you get the texture. And cut off a little bit more of that. Put that over there maybe. Do I want a straight edge or a jaggedy edge? Just maybe a little bit down there at the bottom. Just gonna cut that off a little bit. We just want just that little touch of texture there. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive on the back side there. Just add it so that there's just a little bit sticking out there. And then I want to add, still want to add that tag to the back. Super cute. The You Are Beautiful is going to go in this area here, and I was thinking on an angle like that because everything's kind of coming down that way. So let's get that placed. I love these foam, or puffy, I should say, puffy stickers from Vicky. They're pretty forgiving too. If you get them down and you need to move them, I find that they're, for the most part, pretty forgiving. Having said that, let's see if it's really true. It is. I've tried it before. Yeah, it's good. I love them. They're perfect for making quick titles too. I love the little boho rainbows that were part of this puffy sticker sheet as well. Beautiful is a long word. See if we can get it down there without ruining it. I think that's really nice. And I'm going to put the purple dot over the eye because I just think that's the best. I love how it's purple. And now we need to put this down, and I definitely want to pop that up on some more foam. Let's see, what do I want to do for that? I do have some scraps of foam strips over here. I might just use those up. I think I had those trimmed for a card that I was making, probably a shaker card based on the fact that they're skinny little strips. But that'll be just the perfect amount that I need for the back of this, just to give it a little bit more dimension. You could even add a little bit of photo safe glue, archival glue to the back of that if you wanted. just to make sure that it sticks, but I think it's okay. I think there should be enough sticky on that foam. I'm just making sure that the bottom of the photo is straight, and I'll just hold that up just to make sure. I think it is. It looks like it. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to just grab the stickers from the collection and see if there's something I can add on here. And you know, like I used a lot of this collection. Obviously I made a ton of layouts with it. So I don't know what I have left here. Not a ton on there, but let's look at the chipboard. I think I have, yeah, I have quite a bit of the chipboard on this one. I actually don't mind the idea of a little butterfly. And I was thinking about that. I don't know if it works, but it might work right there. That's kind of cute, isn't it? I think that's pretty cute. That's a possibility, actually. And I think I had another butterfly out on my desk here. Might take me a second to find it. Here it is. It's a little green and blue. It's actually a moth. So we could put a few of those on. That might be kind of cute. What do you guys think? Do you like the moths? Or the butterflies, moths? Butterflies slash moths? Maybe put another one up here or something, kind of in this area by the title. Okay, I need to find another one. I'm gonna find another die cut. Okay, I didn't have any luck finding another die cut colored butterfly or moth that was different from what I've already used, so I decided to just use the two. I don't want to cover up a whole bunch of that photo, but I do want to pop these up on a little bit of foam adhesive, and I think the two positions that I have them in actually work. I think that's fine, and I don't necessarily need anything right there. I just thought maybe I would, but I really like how this turned out. I think it's super pretty. I definitely want to still add some splatters, and I'm gonna do that next. And I'm gonna add some splatters in white and in gold. But before I do that, I'm definitely going to cover up a bunch of stuff on here that I don't want to get paint on. So obviously I don't want paint, I don't want splatters on the photo, and I don't really want splatters on the title, although I don't know if I want to cover that much of that area. So I'm gonna get some scraps of paper. I always have lots of paper scraps hanging around. So even if we get splatters on just a little bit, maybe not. Let's just cover that up. Okay, so now we can splatter. I'm gonna grab my Dina Wakley gloss spray for the white. See if I can get the lid off. It's often stuck on there. Just gonna get something to set this lid on here. Grab that chunk that fell off. My desk right now is a hot mess, as you can imagine. But I like to kind of shield my table from getting tons of paint on it. I'm not gonna lie, my Archon stand has got so much paint on it. Which I don't really care about, obviously, but I like to protect my iPhone that's sitting on my desk and possibly a few other things. So I like to just shield it a little bit with my hand. And I don't really care where it goes, like on the butterfly, good. on these pie charts, good. On the tag, awesome. Anywhere on the white cardstock that's open. Over here, definitely. On the text, for sure. Just getting it spread around. Just enjoying the process, everyone. Having fun splattering paint. Because you know what? You can never have too much paint splatter. Never, ever, ever. And if you're frustrated, get out your paintbrush and just do some paint splatters, because I feel like it might help. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to wash it, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the same thing with gold. Well, there we go, friends. It's all finished up. I've got a little bit of gold splatter on there. It's still drying. But yeah, I think it turned out quite cute. It's a, you know, a different layout for sure, with just this one photo down here in the corner, but everything's sort of like drawing your eye down there with that rainbow. So I really like it. I think it's pretty, and I hope you guys liked it too. I had a lot of fun making this for you. Make sure that you, you know, let me know in the chat what you thought of the layout. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber here. Please make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you know when I'm going to be doing these premieres, or when I'm going to be going live, or when I post here on YouTube. I did link up, like I said, to the products used in the description box below, wherever they're still available. And I hope you enjoyed this today. Have an amazing day, friends, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.